Today I've got Alex. I've met Alex through networking, and whilst networking is quite it's difficult at the minute because we used to, have our breakfast meetings and things like that. Well, obviously that's out with the lockdown. So this is just another way of networking and sharing our information, so that when the wheels of the world start spinning again, people know about it, and we're doing something for ourselves to actually keep visible. So over to you, Alex.
Hi everybody, my name's Alex Lowe, and my background is in office management and administration. I basically started really many years ago, and I've done quite a number of jobs. I've run a couple of businesses, and also run basically was the office manager for a builder, construction firm in Southeast London for quite a number of years, and I learned a very steep learning curve. But basically, I got a systemized approach to what was quite disorganized, and just sort of keep him going, and he didn't have to sort of think about things too much. But also, I got involved with a certain amount of property development as well. I from a previous business partnership, I got a payout, and I was able to invest the money, etc., into some buy-to-lets, as well as getting my hands dirty as well with some certain amount of DIY and handyman work, which involved me actually basically doing up a 80-year-old traditional Irish cottage in County Donegal, the northwest coast of Ireland, of the island of Ireland, and which took over about 2 or 3 years. But I mean, that was probably one of my, I think, lots of achievements, if you like, in sort of transforming it from a bit of a rundown to. And I learned a lot of stuff that it was really great for getting my hands dirty, as I say. What happened was that one of our buy-to-lets, the tenant there got involved with a company called Forever Living Products. And I had heard of them before. I'd heard of multi-level marketing or network marketing. I have to say I was somewhat skeptical. And so the first time I came across it, I sort of went along, had a listen to the opportunity, sort of the evening presentation, and said, no, it's not for me. But she invited us again. We had another look at it, and it was my wife who said, listen, there may be something in this, particularly when it comes to our pensions. It was about creating a legacy, if you like, a pension income for later on in our lives. And so it's a little bit like a franchise, and although without the startup costs. And believe you me, I mean, we went to NEC franchise show, and I mean, some of the startup costs were eye-watering, to say the least.
Well, I can
this
imagine.
was a few £100, which I thought was incredible. And the history behind it was very intriguing. It wasn't one of your sort of companies that sort of came and went. It seemed to be a company that was there for the long haul. And so we thought, well, you know something, we could not find anything to suggest we shouldn't get involved. So we thought, why don't we do it? Just let's jump in. We got our our starter pack of products, and we just started using the products. We sort of chucked out all our old brands and everything. Just sort of took a black bin liner and just kicked everything out and tried all the sort of soaps and shampoo and conditioner and moisturizers, and predominantly the main thing was the aloe vera drinking gels. And it wasn't me that noticed something. It was actually my wife. She has a problem with a knee issue, and she has treatment, but she's a prescribing nurse practitioner. So what she doesn't know about medicines and anti-inflammatories and the like isn't worth talking about. And she was on those quite a lot just to manage her pain. And when, after a month of drinking the aloe, suddenly realised her knee pain had gone.
Really?
We were thinking, really? Is this what it is? We couldn't be sure. And then we went away to Hamburg, visit a cousin in Hamburg for 5 days, didn't take the aloe with us, and the knee pain came back.
Wow.
So we got home, next to the aloe vera, and within 4 or 5 days, the knee pain had gone. And what was so interesting, it wasn't just the knee pain that was manageable, very well managed. It was also the fact that she was walking much better. She was sleeping much better. And there were other benefits as well. We started noticing things like gut health was generally better. Interestingly, our hair, began to grow in places we hadn't
Maybe
noticed.
I should start.
Well, I mean, I can't make any claims, but I thought that's interesting. Our skin was better, eyes were better, nails were better. I thought, this is very interesting. What is going on? And I have to say, and I was a bit skeptical at first, but after a good 6 months to a year, we began to notice, and in terms of sort of regular seasonal coughs and colds, we hardly ever got any. And if we did get anything, it didn't last. I was thinking, is this coincidence, or is this something going on here? But as I began to started recommending the products to other people, they started reporting the same sort of things as well. I always would ask people, what are you experiencing? What are you finding? What are you noticing? Invariably, the same reports were coming back time and time again. And one thing I must admit I forgot to mention was energy levels, which is a bit of it's not a condition, you know, but my goodness, both of us, we just felt as though we had almost bags of energy. And for both of us in our late 50s, early 60s, I thought, well, that's really something else. So the way we were looking at it was, you know, from a health point of view, it was just something. It's like a sort of insurance policy. The quality of our health was really important, or is very important. So we just thought, you know, something that we can go on doing to the end of our days, because we absolutely believe in it. Now, on top of that, there's also a business opportunity, and this is where the multi-level marketing bit comes in as well. So we would show people exactly what we were doing, and to be perfectly honest with you, it's a very, very straightforward business where you simply, do exactly what I coach people exactly what I do. I use the products, recommend the products, and show people how you can make a bit of extra money per month. And to be honest with you, at the current time, that couldn't be more relevant, I suppose.
Very much so.
People are looking to earn a bit extra just to cover the fact that they're not earning as much, and also to look after their health as well. And I think now the main thing that I've sort of been talking to people about is our immune system. The things that we've looked at, particularly my wife, who works in primary care, and what she is seeing and noticing is the downside of poor diet, particularly with things like obesity and diabetes. And that is basically as a direct result of eating poor nutritional food, I'm afraid to say. What we also do at the back of our garden, we've got a long garden, we've got we've converted the rear third of our garden into an allotment. So we grow a lot of our own stuff as well. And we notice a significant difference in the quality, just from our humble little allotment. The quality of the potatoes and the tomatoes and the onions and everything else that we grow, it is not what they sell in the supermarket, I'm afraid, is not a patch on what we produce, simply because we know, where it comes from, where we're growing it, and we're picking it as soon as it's ready to pick, not beforehand or anything like that. So yeah, I'm absolutely passionate about what I'm doing. It's so important. If nothing else, our health is probably absolutely right up there, and particularly now. In this current climate, health is really, really important.
Definitely.
And the other thing is what's really important is knowing that the company has got, not only has it got our backs, but also in a very ethical way as well.
I was going to ask you about that, because the MLM industry can sometimes have quite a bad press. So I'm really interested in your thoughts behind that.
Well, we were on a call in a networking meeting recently, and there was a chap there who's quite senior in both the networking organisation as well as in the industry of sales and marketing. He'd been doing it for over 4 decades. And he said to me, luckily I had a one-to-one with him, and he said to me, in over 40 years, I have seen so many MLM companies come and go, and there were only 3 that he would rate, and one of them was Forever Living products. And he uses the products. Wow. And I thought, to hear that from somebody outside of the industry was a great sense of comfort. It really lifted, I just thought, that's fantastic to hear that from somebody who hasn't got an axe to grind about this particular company. And I just thought, well, if he doesn't know what he's talking about, I don't know who does. So that really meant a great deal to me. The thing about what Forever stands for, they have various charities that they contribute to. Oh, wow. They pack foods for people who are in poverty and hungry. So their aim was to pack 1 million meals. And I think they've surpassed that. I'm fairly certain. I can't remember the figures exactly. When they grow the aloe vera, they grow it in a completely sustainable and organic way. So there is nothing used in the way of pesticides, fertilizers, insecticides, or anything like that. They use goats and sheep to graze in the plantations, so they keep the weeds down. The droppings from those animals basically go to fertilize the soil, and when the aloe plants are cut down, the rind, the outer green rind, those are taken away, and then they're put back in. They're made into a mulch, and they use to compost it down. They use back into the soil as well. So there's that sense of everything going in a sort of natural cycle. Also, the 50 million or so plants in Texas and the Dominican Republic actually reduce the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Now, it worked out, I can't remember the exact figures, but it's significant. There's a significant contribution to reducing global CO2. In the Dominican Republic, when I heard this, I thought it's tremendous, because there's several videos of showing the harvesting of the aloe plants, and they use machinery that makes you think, good God, is this something from about 50 years ago? It looks like battered old tractors and trucks and everything. What they didn't want to do was completely mechanize it. They do need some mechanization, but they use very basic, you could say, labor intensive methods of harvesting, because, and this was the real clincher for me, because they wanted to maintain a workforce to help the local workforce in the Dominican Republic particularly to have work. They're a very, very good employer. They also contribute to the local education and medical facilities as well. And I just thought, and it was something that you'd said, Graham, about the UN global, I can't remember how you...
Global goals.
Yeah, the UN global goals. And I was having a quick look at them before I came on the call, and I just thought, wow, we seem to be ticking the boxes for a lot of this, not just for helping people be in work and take pride in what they're doing, but also helping them in terms of education, in terms of their health, in terms of their overall well-being, and to help them lead a good life, if you like, in all sorts of ways. And I thought, do you know something? It goes right to the root of what Forever does, and it's been doing it since 1978. There's a hashtag that we try and push around, which is hashtag Forever Proud, and I can say I'm I'm proud to be part of that organization, because I know where their heart is. I know that what they're doing is basically for the good of others. I've never, as you were saying, alluded to earlier, that I know there are some not so good press about the industry. I do believe in them. Having come from a position of skepticism and doubt, my belief has grown with what I've learnt, with what I've found out for the benefits from using the aloe vera. So yeah, and as I said, I've mentioned the benefits are just fantastic. It's great to be able to help my family. I mean, my family are using the products as well, and to see them benefiting really means a great deal to me.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Alex. And I think the key point for me was that there has been, I've seen different approaches with the MLM industry about the sale and trying to push those different types of things, and I've never had that with you. It's always been this sort of complete transparency and openness about it. It's not about pushing the product, it's about how you've benefited and other people have benefited. And I think that's key, and I think that's really interesting, because as you say, so many of this type of industry don't operate in that way, or there's a bad press about it. So that's really good. So how are things panning out in relation to the current situation? How is that affecting you in terms of the way you're doing things?
Well, obviously everything has to be taken now online, which is affecting everybody anyway. But fortunately, you have the technology. We have to be able to meet and talk to people and showcase what we do. We are, I think, in the 155 countries that we operate in, other countries are pretty envious of what we've got here. I mean, we've got phenomenal systems and trainings. The trainings in the company are second to none. But obviously we all had to adapt, which, unsurprisingly, because of the circumstances. We've got an amazing delivery system. I can put in an order. If I put an order in now, it'll go through from our shop, and it will get picked up, and it will get by one of the distribution centres. It could be the one up in Warwick. It could be one over in the Netherlands. There's a large distribution centre over in the Netherlands called Forever Direct. And they've got a state-of-the-art systemised way of packaging and producing the boxes ready to be taken over by the couriers. And so I'm reasonably confident if I put an order in now, it'll be probably with my customer by Monday. So if it was on the Monday, I ordered it, it'll be with us by Wednesday. So it's a very efficient, tried and tested system. I mean, it's worked every single time. I've never had a problem. If there's ever been a problem with something to do with the courier boxes, something's broken, whatever it is, they've never questioned. They haven't asked for proof or anything. I've just rung up head office. So we've got a problem here, and they just send it out literally by courier, and it arrives for 2 days. I mean, I think customer service is, and this is what they encourage with us, is give people what they need. You know, just look after people, and I think that sort of kind of ethos goes right the way through. That sort of care and for helping people, and obviously it's a business. I mean, you know, I've learnt over the years that, you know, when I spoke to people and they said, "Oh, I couldn't do that, it's selling," and I said, "Well, I'm not a salesman. I've never been formally trained as in sales and marketing. I've simply learnt by using the products, but to simply talk from my own personal benefits. You know, this
that's brilliant.
And I'm much better now at telling if I'm a little bit too, what's the word for, not enthusiastic. I know that I need just it's okay. You know, people will ask me when they're ready to. You know, it's like with anything. It may not be the right time, etc., etc. And quite often, you know, there's so much information on so many things now. I mean, it's very difficult to really select out. But when it becomes relevant to that person because of a health need or because of an income need or whatever it is, then it's correct. I do believe in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, last month I had my busiest month in 7 years. Wow. I've never known anything like it, and a lot of my colleagues are reporting exactly the same because, given the current circumstances, people do want to look after their health because at the moment there isn't an awful lot else there, and they're recognising that looking after our, so if you like, our systemic health via gastrointestinal tracts, which is where 70% of the immune system resides, is so important. And that's really what I've been talking about to people, and just that's it's try and keep the message simple, and it's the same. And interestingly, there hasn't been an awful lot of that in the press from anywhere. Every so often you'll get an article about what we can do for our immune systems, but there's a paucity of information, and you have to sort of search for it. Yeah. Which surprises me. You'd think that.
Well, it's the whole news thing, isn't it? It's not sensationalism sells news. Not, you know, the dark side sells news. Not good quality stuff that's going to help people. That doesn't sell newspapers at the end of the day. So.
But and we've had. I mean, not surprisingly, the main thing, the product that people have been asking about, which is, if you like, our main seller, if you like, is the drinking gel, and that would be the one I'd say, if nothing else, take the drinking gel, because that's your tonic. It's a good all-round tonic, if you like. It covers a lot of bases. So that would be the thing. That's if I had nothing else, or I couldn't afford anything else, that would be the thing I'd go for.
This is a business that is still operating. It's still operational, and especially at the moment where there's so much uncertainty. But going forward, this could be something that can supplement an income. And, you know, I'm looking at it not from a business, but certainly as a health benefit for me, anyway.
Well, interestingly, the curious thing, and this is where, be sensitive. People are hurting on so many fronts. Avoid spamming and selling, because it's the very last thing people want to hear. It's more from contribution. Ask after people, look out for people, find out what, you know, if we can offer something, etc., to help them. I think that's the main thing. But going forward, you know, from the point of view of what we do, it's about earning. I mean, you can basically earn as little or as much as you want. We don't have to earn anything. It's just a question of you just want to get the products at a discount. That's absolutely fine. But if you want to earn a bit, you can do. If you want to help others, if you enjoy helping other people to also start something, a small business working from home, that's the other thing. Although obviously it's about building relationships, and face-to-face, nothing beats face to face.
No.
But in these current times, we can't do that. So we've got plenty of platforms that we can use, as we're using the Zoom now, to engage and interact with people in a safe way. And as I say, we've got a fantastic delivery service. So all of these things can be done. And we're dealing in health and well-being. I mean, it's kind of, it's almost like we're sort of, dare I say it, it's like, good heavens, I mean, we didn't ask for it. I wish it wasn't like this, because it's devastating for so many people. But
it's terrible.
it is. We have got it. We are there, and we can offer some hope. And that's how I see it. We can offer hope.
Fantastic. No, it's really, really good. No, I really appreciate you sort of, taking your time to explain it all. And so what would I mean, you mentioned the drink, is that would be the number one thing to sort of,
Absolutely.
that you would highly recommend, to at least, even if you don't want to get into the business side of it, the drink is the way forward. And, is that fair to say?
The drink is unsurprisingly, it is our number one sort of flagship product. It accounts for 50 to 60% of total sales, both in the UK and globally as well. In some instances, it's much larger than that. It just depends what each business owner has focused on. Some people are focused on beauty, some people are focused on weight management, some people are focused on fitness and health, etc. And we've got products that cover all of those as well. But I'd say that as I say, if somebody has a budget and they say, look, I'd love to have these things, but what is the main thing? And I always say, what's important to you?
The drink.
Yeah, the drinks. Interestingly, there are things you can put on your skin, etc. But actually, when I was saying to you earlier on, we noticed that our skin, our hair, our eyes, our nails began to change after a month of drinking aloe vera. So it works from the inside out. So yes, of course you can put things onto your skin, but it's also important to nourish the skin from the inside out as well. So you are indirectly affecting your skin as well. And we often joke that people, after having drunk the aloe for a few weeks or months, we get what's known as an aloe glow.
Brilliant.
We shine out into the dark. But so in terms of other products, at this time, I would say the other thing to help the gastrointestinal health is the probiotic. We do a probiotic, so you get 6 strains of healthy bacteria, which are really important in maintaining the good gut health in terms of helping digestion, etc., etc. So,
and in turn, boost immune system.
Okay, it's exactly supporting, exactly. Yeah. So it's all towards supporting the immune system. And if somebody asked me if it's like a top 3, there'd be the aloe vera, the probiotic, and the thing that I use the most in terms of topically on my hands is we have something called a heat lotion, which is aloe vera, and then it's got all the sort of heat compounds, if you like, that people use sort of like a deep heat for sort of muscle pain.
Oh yes, I see what you're saying now.
We've got they do a tube of this aloe. The main ingredient is aloe vera, and then you've got all the heating elements, if you like, in there. And it's great to go home just before you go to bed. Put that on shoulders and back, or whatever it is, and you get a really good night's sleep and feel much more relaxed in the morning.
Brilliant. That sounds so good.
That's my sort of top 3 recommendations.
Brilliant. No, I'm so glad that it's working out for you. And I guess in terms of the future, what sort of the plans for you? Is there anything that you got? What you aspire to be within the business, or what do you think?
There is a what's known as a marketing plan within the business, and there are, as when you start, you have a certain percentage of discount. As you do more activity, which is quite simply using the products, recommending the products, and starting to show people the opportunity of doing exactly the same, then there's a way of building your business and building your team. And as you accumulate a certain number of points per month or every 2 months, that at certain levels, that will go towards getting a promotion. And with that promotion, you get a little bit more. You get a pay rise, effectively, and it goes up in increments up to what's known as manager position. Now, when you get to manager position, which is what we're not quite there yet. That's our next goal. When you get to manager position, then you can get not only a total of 48% discount, but also as you start helping other people to get to those positions as well, you can also get into what's known as a royalty style income. Forever Living is known as a legacy company, and you're helping to other people to build their businesses, and by doing so, Forever reward you for the work that you've done. And this is as I say, this royalty style income. So on top of whatever your income is, what you're earning from your own business, you're also earning a little percentage on what other people in your team, what you've helped other people to do. And the idea is that you help as many, you help a lot of people do a little bit. By doing that, you get, Forever will say thank you, and they give you a small percentage on all of that. And you can do that in your locality, with people in your area. You can in your own county, your town, your city, your county. You can do it nationally, and you can do it in the 155 or 160 countries that we're in. So wow. we've got members of our team in other countries as well.
Really?
And
wow.
Basically, yeah, we get income from other countries as well. So, and it is, I mean, I can ring up head office, and I can get myself registered in any of the other countries, and it takes 24 hours, and I can do business in those countries with them. So it is a very simple, tried and tested system that works over and over again.
It sounds brilliant. And as I'm looking forward to trying the products, but it sounds like you certainly had great experience with it. So yeah, I'm definitely keen to get my little package next week when it arrives.
Absolutely, so, and there'll be certainly more to come. Great.
That's brilliant. No, thanks ever so much. I'm so glad that I've been, hopefully give you a bit of a voice, and that people can, see for themselves what benefits you've had from it. I mean, is there anything else you'd like to say? Anybody you'd like to thank, or any final words for anybody watching?
Yes, a big part of this. One of the things that Forever doesn't do, it doesn't set your targets. It doesn't say, right, you have to retail a certain amount of products or get a certain number of people in the team per month. That is entirely up to us. This is a 100% self-driven business. If I just simply want to buy the products at a discounted price, Forever not going to turn around and say, sorry, you can't do that. So they don't put a cap, or they don't put a lower limit, they don't put an upper limit. You can earn as little or as much as you like, or you don't have to earn anything at all. And one of the big things, of course, that means, which is great in many ways, but it also means that we have to work on ourselves, on our own mindset. And so I can safely say that the experience I've had from meeting people through networking organizations such as For Networking, etc., and the training that we get in Forever is second to none, and has helped me with my own mindset. In effect, getting out of the way of myself, because I mean, like I'm sure all of us, we all do a lot of this negative self-talk, and kind of persuade ourselves that we can't do something. Well, of course, if you believe that, then it becomes true. So, if you can, by working on myself, I've certainly seen the results, and I can safely say that worked more on my own mindset. I found that I haven't actually had to try too hard, and it's very subtle, and there's nothing about sort of manipulation or anything like that. It's simply about self-belief that, with everything people might say about the industry, etc., I know that it is for us, and I'm sure there are people where there's an opportunity there if people were interested.
Fantastic. If anybody watching this, I mean, I'm going to happy to put some links in the video and stuff. What's the best way to get in contact with you, mate?
Well, if you're okay with me to give you my shop website address and also my mobile phone, would that be okay? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put the links in the video so people can see.
So if you want, yeah, absolutely. But the shop address is simply www.aloeherbal.co.uk. If you go on there, you can go straight into the shop, and you can have a look at what range of products, and also our telephone numbers are on there as well, so you can either email or phone us directly, and I'll be happy to help.
Brilliant. Thanks again, Alex. It's been nice chatting to you. As I said, this is just something that I'm trialing at the moment, trying to get the word out there and helping each other out. And hopefully somebody will watch this and, give you a call. But anyway, I will certainly be reporting back on my experiences with the product. So that will be probably another video at some point, and I'll kind of be more than happy to come back to you and let you know how I'm getting on. So thanks again, Alex.
Not at all. Well, thank you very much, Graham, for allowing me the opportunity to talk to you. It's been great pleasure, and thank you for your time and your professionalism. I feel in very safe hands with you.
Thanks, Alex. Thank you.
Cheers.